Well, it's been a while, has it not? 7 months since I uploaded the last video. Well, anyway, finally got the hold of the camera, and I'm out here on the 4.0. I'm going to go scrape off my spots I might hunt at for deer, well, firearm deer portion, November portion. I'm starting next weekend. Yes, got a collapsible rake with me. It's a little less bulky. Otherwise, I'd use a big red thing. But yeah, also I reached a little bit of a milestone. Got a notification last night that I finally hit 100 subscribers. That's pretty good for somebody who doesn't upload very often. So, I mean, it took a number of years to get to that point, but it's cool. Thanks to everybody who subscribes. Of course, I noticed since I haven't posted anything new, nobody's been watching from my subscriptions. Only new people that aren't subscribed to me has been watching, but that's okay. It's no big deal. But yeah, here we go. Go down through here and try to find, scrape off my spot. Anyway, I just got done kind of cleaning up the cabin, vacuum it out a little bit, get ready to stay over and whatnot. And that should be pretty good. Of course, you know, we scrape all these leaves off, and then as you can see behind me, there's still quite a bit left. So it may take a little bit of time to, well, actually, forget that. Actually, it's going to cover it back over by the time I get back out here. So that's great too, right? All right, yep, I made it to my first location, and we'll go down through there. Yeah, kind of, I think I might have to clean this off too. A little too noisy. And it's hard to see the trail right now, actually. It's kind of windy, so sorry. That's kind of out of my hands, but you know how it is. Sticks. I used to have my blind sitting right over here a few times. I've set it against different trees here and there. Oops, sorry. Excusey. That tree broke off a number of years ago. Oh, it's windy. Well, if I think I can hear myself talk, I'm going to go ahead and upload this when I get done. But, yeah, this trail's kind of absolutely covered. Doesn't even look like anything different. I hate to crunch leaves all the way to where I want to be at on opening morning or something. So that kind of sucks. Camera bouncing a little bit, and I hate that. Now this is a Black Oak Trail, and right down there you can see that was the Black Oak until it broke off. Of course, I probably showed you that before. But we're getting about where I need to be at. Yeah. Right. Sometimes I forget where you're at sometimes. This is where I set up before, right on the edge of the trail. On this tree here. Next to this cruddy old stump. But yeah, that was a That was a black oak there. Fell down. I think it was full of, the problem with a lot of these trees is they're full of ants. They just eat the crap out of them. They're oaks too, so it sucks even worse. But down here, sitting at the base of that, is when I saw that 7-pointer come through down through the bottom down there. Biggest deer I've gotten, size-wise, not point-wise, but size-wise. So, I guess I'll do some scraping here. I haven't used this too much. Hopefully it's still pretty strong. Pretty good enough. Yeah, this is working pretty good. I like how it, not only do you collapse the tines down, I get it in a few, but then you can abbreviate the handle, and it makes it a lot smaller, handier package. You can kind of put it anywhere you want to, pretty much. But yeah, see, this is always a good thing to kind of do, in case, you know, if anybody's new to hunting, which I don't know too many people that are that much, but if I want to sit like right here on this tree and scrape all around it, even if I sit at the base, even I use a Hawk brand tree seat, which ratchet straps to the tree and comes up. It's the 7 position. Well, I'll put a picture up to show it, but I can kind of swivel around back and forth, and I got all this space here now where my feet aren't going to be crunching leaves sitting here, or even standing up if I want to. Kind of scrape around here so I can put my backpack down and not have it crunching leaves and whatever. So that makes it a whole lot easier to be quiet. The only thing with the Hawk tree seat is you have to have a tree above and below a certain diameter. Otherwise it won't go around it, even at full extension. But I've been using it for years. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's just that, you know, after a few hours of sitting, your back end seems to want to fall off or something if you don't stand up once in a while. But it's really nice when you want to sit and wait for a while. So that's kind of cool. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try to scrape up the way here, and I won't record that because it's going to take a while. So I'll get back to you guys when I get back. Never mind, I decided to do a little bit of it. I'm just kind of doing this. One-handed, of course, because I'm holding the camera. But it's actually making it a little bit more visible. It was completely covered. So I'll keep on this for a little while, and I'll get back to you. This time I made it. Got that cleared off better than it was anyway. Of course, you know good and well, with all the wind and the leaves left on the trees, they're going to be covered back up again. So, on to the next spot. My wife already did all this here. Helps out a lot. Now yeah, if you didn't know any better, you'd say that was just a yellow jug over there. Antifreeze, Prestone antifreeze from I don't know how long ago. But that actually marks off my 200 yard meter or 200 yard range. Put a tall target up there, and I used it a couple times. I had my AR carbine out here at one time, and another time about 186 yards. Had to find that with the rangefinder, and set that up for my red dot on my Saiga. So that was neat. Being able to get, I would really like to be able to do 300 meters, which is about 328 yards. And unfortunately, I don't have the space or the flat enough land yet, and maybe someday I will. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Oh, I saw another rub over there somewhere. But here's the foundation. I'd like to know what kind of building was here one time, because it's kind of, the concrete's kind of low into the trough around the ground there. It's kind of weird. Anyway, heading down here to the other spot I'm going to clear off. It's so windy out here you couldn't hardly hear anything moving around if you wanted to. Got that big draw down here. Sorry for the shaking, I walk kind of heavy, I guess. Which is funny because I forgot to tell you guys, after that last video, or the next month in April, I actually went ahead and ended up getting another full-time job, which this small engine work was not paying a ton, obviously. So I went ahead and did that, and since then I've lost another 20 pounds. So all my clothes are fitting really loose now, and I definitely look better, but I'm not used to it, I guess. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I wish I could lose 20 pounds. Well, the job I got is basically squatting, picking up, and lifting unassembled cabinets from Vietnam, which some of them can weigh quite a bit at a time, and then I'm doing that all day, so that gets a little tiring. So yeah, that's where all the weight went. It only took about maybe 4 months or so for that to fall off. So if you get a job like that, it's a great workout and it's a great fat burning activity. So anyhow, back to what I was doing. Might have done that in the past. Got some room. If you can find one of these are really good. Because you can whiten them out, you can narrow them in, get in tighter places with them. And one of these that actually folds up. Just get that big. You can almost put that in a backpack. If you need to clean off an area like this, you don't want to just sit there and scrape like you're some kind of chicken out in the woods or something. These work pretty good. Sometimes they're a little cheap, so if you take care of them, they're probably okay. So, what I like about this spot here is I put my tree seat on that tree right there, and then if I sit down here, I can see all the way around here, like this, across there, over that way. I'm kind of in a little nestle of trees. In fact, last season, I was sitting here, unfortunately during antlerless, and a buck walked in behind me back here, went straight across. He was probably no more than 15 yards away from me. Ended up going all the way down, all the way down that way. Walked on through, and I just had to sit there and watch him because it was antlerless, and I don't want to do the wrong thing. Anyway, on to the next thing. Yeah, the woods are starting to look grayscale. See a lot more sticks than you do leaves. This is the bottom, the west and south bottom. Got a couple of chairs over there in case I want to sit down. Oh well. Yeah, that tree fall off, break off over there. No, man. I would say maybe at least a couple years, 2 or 3 years ago. The old barrel's still there. I think I need a gimbal or something to keep the camera from jumping around so much. Over there is where my wife tried to grow some. Yeah, there we go. My wife grew some four tomato plants out, and one of them died. And she did get a couple off of them, so there's kind of work out here. Just we don't have a real sticky kind of soil here. It's more of a, I would say it's more of a sandy kind of soil, so it drains fast. In fact, that's her down there right now. She's gonna hate me for zooming in on her. Anyway, I go back. I'm gonna go on and try to find the other spot. Now we're up a trail. I think this is one of the latest trails I've made. It goes up the hill up the south. And it started out, I think, way down there, the Skidder Trail. And I sat up here. The last thing I did last season. Didn't see anything though. Thought I could hear something once in a while, but nothing. Yeah, I think this is where I sat right here. Yes, from up here I could see all the way across there. Kind of down in here. Not so good over here, but I can also listen up in here too. So that wind, I tell you, it's gonna snap really cold tonight. So I went ahead and made sure I had some batteries on charge out in the old garage. Seems like cold snap or hot snap, I always end up seeing it, needing to put the batteries on charge. Keep hearing shots or something over that way, or somebody's beating on something. I'll get this scraped off for now. What the heck are they doing over there? Alright, so I got that spot cleared up. Yeah, so other things going on. I just sold the Yamaha Moto 4, which I had previously recorded last year, early this year. So now no longer have that. Got running pretty decently. Just the new rear tires and new, well, one of the front tires is not holding air. I think I just forgot to get, or I missed a spot in the rim where the bead sealer did not get where it needed to be. So, you know, I knew I was going to take a loss on it. I actually it was like only like $142 off, so it wasn't too bad because I knew I just didn't want to take less than a certain amount. And he offered a little more than my bottom dollar. So hopefully he's having fun with that little bugger. He thought I had enough power in it and everything, so that's good. I probably won't buy anything to work on for a while. It's just kind of a pain. You gotta find the parts and take the time to fix it, and then you may or may not get as much out of it as you would like to. So there's other things out there that I can get and work on that I actually make better profit on, so that's cool. Alright, I guess we'll head on up, I guess. Sort of that way. And get the last place cleared off for now. Of course, like I said, you know, we're going to come out here and there's going to be a ton of leaves on everything again. But maybe it'll be better with less leaves and more leaves to have to clean off by foot. So, on to the next one. And here's the last spot. I sat here a couple times last season, and it was kind of interesting. I didn't get anything from up here, but in this spot exactly. But it was kind of cool because, well, I sat here and sat here on this tree, which I take up a lot of camera space here. Yep. Sat here on this tree, and I was facing this way, because I was on my tree seat where I can rotate it back around that way. And from back behind me this way, I could hear something stomping around. Now there's been a doe hanging out back there and around that corner of the property and running around back there a lot, so I figured it was her. But me sitting there, she sounded so close I didn't want to just start moving and suddenly spook her and make her run off anyway, so you don't know if she's going to blow possibly or not. But another time, I think later that day, I was looking over exact opposite direction this way, and I saw something small, but like a bushy tail running this way from me. Or, well, it was probably 30 to 50 yards away, I'm not exactly sure, but I saw that and I'm like, what the heck was that? So I ended up sitting there for a minute, and all of a sudden I see something else coming through, and another same thing running up that way. It was like, well, it was a coyote. So it was two coyotes ran up this way from me, like from north to south up the hill. And I actually literally, that thing was not paying attention to me at all. I actually stood up with my 30-30 and scoped it as it ran through here. And I was like, I could have shot him if I wanted to. I just didn't want to waste a 30-30 round. I mean, for crying out loud, they're just over at Walmart. They're for Winchester Super X. They're like 31 something a box of 20. Like when I first started buying them, they're like $10 a box. So that tells you how much they've gone up. And so anyway, that went on, and then later on I sat here, and it was like, it was getting pretty dark, and off on the east side over that way, way off over that way, I start hearing bark, bark, ooh, and I was like a huge pack of coyotes, and then the ones that ran up this way, I think were answering them back, because I could hear something going on there too. So I was like, yeah, I guess it's time to go. So, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off down here and be right back. First time I had one of these, it was out of my grandmother's stuff after she passed away. And I used that out here for a while in different places. And eventually it fell apart, which kind of sucked, but I found this one, I forget where. And that one actually had a solid handle. This one actually can shrink up, so I kind of like this better because it takes up even less space. So yeah, I kind of clean off around the back side of the tree a little bit, because when I put that strap around, it's going to fall down back there and I might hit it. So it's just a little nicer to work with when it's trying to be quiet and do things quickly enough without making a lot of noise. I don't know what, this noise sucks. So yeah, so there's that. Show you how much bare it looks now. Yeah, I mean, you could, if you didn't have a lot of leaves come back down as is, you can kind of quietly walk all around this entire area here and not make a whole lot of noise if you're careful enough. I mean, sure, you can do that too much, but if you're quietly moving. So I just stepped on another leaf. That works a lot better that way. It's just a little more of a pain to come up the trail over there and had to come through here. If I was going to be here for sure, I usually I try to scrape a trail of leaves out of the way, but that's kind of a pain if you're trying to do multiple places at one time. You'd have to have a small army of people to do it. Yeah. So I guess that's it for now. You know, it's been 7 months and had a lot going on. There was, well, I was trying, end up getting a job, like I said, and it took a little while to get going, and the job kind of tires me out, and it seems like everybody's done a video on something, even if they have to make clickbait, and I don't want to do that. So, and I'm not monetized, like I said, so I'm not too concerned about it. But hitting 100 subscribers is pretty cool, so I know that's like a drop in the bucket compared to most of the bigger YouTubers out there, but they're actually heavily dedicated to what they're doing also. By the wind. So, if I can ever think of some decent stuff to do, I'll try to do it. But I'm kind of boring and an introvert, so it's a little bit challenging at times to make something happen. But yeah, so we were out here. Last thing we did out here, big, was last Sunday. My friend Tom and I, who I knew all the way back, 4 jobs back, I guess. At the place I was at for around 7 years in total. We were out here at the range part of the property, getting his new 30-06 sighted in, pretty good at 100. He never shot it before, and we got it walked in with whatever the ammo that it grouped the tightest with. So he was pretty happy about that. I'm no gun expert. I'm not a firearms instructor, but I was able to help him out and get that figured out and everything. So that was kind of cool. I checked my 30-30 out, and I posted on Facebook the picture of the target, and I got mostly likes, but I got a couple guys saying I could do better with ammo selection, which I probably could, but like I said in the post, I felt like I was shooting kind of fast, and the third round I could tell the crosshairs were just off 0 when it went off, so I just, like I normally do, after I get something sighted in, I put a 3-shot group down range, and then I'll go ahead and just click over wherever, the amount of space I would need to, and call it good. And out here in these woods, that's never really let me down at all. So, because if I'm sighting in at 100 yards, well, what happened was with all that said and done, I ended up with a 1 13/16 group at 100 yards with that gun, which is a lot tighter than I used to do. I mean, I was doing 3 to 4 inch groups when I first got it, just from a bench, But this is from a bench too, kind of a shaky little table, but did pretty good. I mean, a sub 2 inch group, sub 2 MOA group from a lever action. It's not free floating. It's not bolt action. It's like a bolt action, but it's not free floating or anything. So that was pretty good, because, like I said, I mean, if you had a 2 inch group at 100 yards, you're looking at the same like a 1 inch group at 50, a half inch group at a quarter, or 25 yards. So it's still not bad. I mean, all my shots here are like 30 to 60 yards anyway, so we're talking not a problem. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Windy Day Raking Household Chores out in the woods. I'm your host, Warrior526, and I'll catch you later.